Very briefly on this subject, as for the cabinet of former Commissioner Phil Hogan, they continue to be temporarily at the disposal of the Commissioner which has been appointed to take care of the trade portfolio in a temporary fashion. But again, this is a temporary arrangement. And as for the future cabinet of the future Commissioner from Ireland, it is of course at the discretion of the Commissioner to compose his or her own cabinet.
Thank you very much, Balázs. I will now invite you to ask additional questions on this matter if you have any. I see that David's hand is raised. David Price. David, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Dana. You've mentioned several times, half a dozen times, that President von der Leyen was insisting on having two candidates. And I'm wondering why she is insisting on this, and whether she actually mentioned in her correspondence or communication with the Irish the actual qualifications for a commissioner, which is that they should be completely independent and neither seek nor take instructions from any government or any other institution, body, office or entity. It doesn't mention anything about having two candidates, and that would rather distort the idea of independence. So could you perhaps explain that to me, why, and if that particular citation from the treaty was mentioned in the correspondence with the Irish government?
Thank you very much for this, David. It's an important question. Indeed, I can explain you first why the President is determined to have a gender-based college. Since she took office, actually since the investiture speech in the European Parliament, and since the July appearance in front of the MEPs and following through her November appearance before the MEPs, she has made it clear to the members of the European Parliament, to national governments and to European citizens that she is determined to have a gender-based college, because that is an important matter for her and it is an important matter for Europe. Therefore, as she has done in the past when she invited national governments to present nominees for European commissioners of the respective nationalities of the member states, she said that she would invite the member states to present at least two names, that of a man and that of a woman, of course, with the required qualifications for the post as European Commissioner. And as you have hinted out yourself, David, the clear qualifications which are referred to in the treaty in Article 17 are that of independence, that of competence of the individuals proposed, and of course that of European commitment. So references to the treaty requirements or criteria for what constitutes members of the college are part of the conversations which take place on this. Thank you. I wonder if you have any additional questions on this matter at this stage. I think that David has a follow-up question. David, go ahead.
Thank you, Dana. No, I'd just like to know if the correspondence cited that Article 17 specifically about independence, because that seems to be at odds with the insistence on having two candidates. If President has a personal desire to have young and old, maybe people who have got different qualities, that's maybe his or her own particular bias. And the bias is not what we want for commissioners. We want independence, which is the opposite of bias. So I'm wondering what was in the correspondence with the Irish government.
Thank you.
Do you have any information on
Yes.
that?
Sure. Thank you very much for the follow-up, David. First of all, I'm not in a position to provide you details of the correspondence exchange between the President and national governments. What I can reiterate is that very clearly in that correspondence references to the treaty requirements regarding a commissioner are part of the conversation. So this is the answer to the first question. On your comment regarding gender balance, I can only say that gender balance is not a matter of bias. Gender balance is a matter of very high political importance for the President, for the Commission, for European governments, and I believe for European society in general. Thank you. Are there any additional questions on this topic at this stage? I do not see any hand raised, so thank you very much, Balázs. We now open the floor for other questions. So Katalin was waiting for a long time patiently.
Thank you, Donna.